And welcome to Hero Power. I'm your host, Avanties, and as always, we have new guests. Or more old hosts. I don't know. Mattatarms is with us this week.
Hey, how's it going? Been a while. Decided, I had a free weekend and, haven't been on Hero Power in a while. I've decided, hey, let's be on Hero Power this week because why not? Because I've been on every other podcast this week too.
Hey,
But anyway,
yeah, there you go. You're always welcome here. We love having you here, and so glad you were able to join us this week. And as always, I do have my normal co-host and birthday boy this week, Zerotio.
What is up,
Happy
gang?
birthday. Anyway,
No, we don't want to get demonetized. That song can get you demonetized. Anyways, first off, welcome back, Matt. A lot of people, have asked, is Matt a host on the show? And I've always told them he's still a host on the show. He works on the back end. He just can't be there for the recordings. So, while you're a guest, you're also not a guest because this is your house. So welcome back and thank you for joining us this week.
well, I'm glad you could, at least dust off my room before I showed up.
Yeah. we leave it the way it was. Before you left.
Are you gonna leave
go
that
to
hat on the whole
squelch
time?
place?
Are you gonna leave that hat on the whole time?
Absolutely.
Anyways, for our audio viewers, Avanties has put a birthday hat on my my cam. So you want to see that? Head over to our YouTube, youtube.com/ECMMOgamers. But I'll get us kick started before we get into news. My weight loss battle. A lot of people have been really, really positive about this, and been contacting me, asking me how things are going. Still going good. I'm still significantly under 300 now. I'm still losing weight. I'm past my doctor's appointment, but I'm still gonna keep going. I am going to ignore all dietary restrictions tomorrow, which is my actual birthday on the 14th of June. We're gonna go down to Dave and Buster's and have a good lunch, and I'll probably partake in foods I'm not supposed to have and a couple drinks I'm probably not supposed to have, but that's my version of the purge. In Hearthstone, yeah, one day. In Hearthstone news, I got Legend. I've been practicing a lot of aggro lately, prepping for my last week of THL, which didn't go well, but I ended the season, I think I'm 6-2. So a good season. I am taking off next season of THL to focus on some stuff over the summer. My weight loss. I am getting a second job, a few other things. So I'm taking a season off. We'll see if that continues after next season or not. But I did get Legend. I've been practicing a lot of aggro because the meta is very aggressive, which we will show in the deck that we're playing this week that Mattatarms brought. We have a great Shaman that he's going to pilot for us. And I had really good success with Hunter. I played Face Hunter and went 18-2 into Legend. And we're not playing Face Hunter this week because it's pretty much the same Face Hunter everybody's seen for the most part. But yeah, that's been my week. How about yours, Matt?
Kind of been fiddling around. I'm not enjoying the meta in the most way right now. I don't know. I'm kind of bored with Standard right now, and Wild doesn't do anything for me. I've been playing a good bit of Classic and a little bit of Battlegrounds, but mostly just been playing other games. A lot of I picked up Griftlands on the Switch, which is a very good game. And yeah, just been trying to, take account of what I enjoy and try to focus on what I enjoy, which is good. It's very good. So right now Hearthstone I'm kind of enjoying, but not as much. So I'm doing it less, but
yeah,
I'm still talking about it.
It's important to remember that we all love this game and we all want this game to be good. And there are times that individually, some people don't enjoy it. I honestly push for Legend because I plan on taking a majority of the month the rest of this month off because I'll be done with THL. I'm starting a second job. So Hearthstone's not going to be primary to me. Plus, I've been playing a lot of Subnautica, the first version, not the Below Zero, which I plan to pick up next. And I'm really just enjoying other games right now. As a matter of fact, the rest of today and probably tomorrow until I go celebrate my birthday is probably going to be Subnautica. Not that I don't enjoy Hearthstone, I do, but right now the meta is not where I want it to be, and this mini set is not what Dark Moon Races was. Now, it's not bad, but I think it's going to be more of a complement to the meta when the next set comes out. So I'm really eager to see what the next set is. We'll be speculating about that probably in the next couple of weeks when there's less news. But other than that, normally I'd go to something like Wild and see if I can double Legend. But as we'll get to in the news shortly, Wild's kind of broken right now. But before we get into that, Avanties, tell us about your wonderful vacation we're all envious of you over.
Yeah, so I spent the last week traveling across the country with my family. We went to Phoenix to visit friends. I got to see the Grand Canyon and went to Tombstone. Tried to make plans with one of our fellow Hearthstone podcasters, Major Death, but unfortunately he wasn't feeling great at the time. So Dwayne, I hope you are in fact feeling better now. Hate that we couldn't get together while I was out there.
He's a great dude. I met him at BlizzCon. If you hadn't heard, I've been there.
I did, however, get to have a wonderful dinner with innkeeper Scott Bites Levy. Some of you know him as the innkeeper. He cosplays the innkeeper at conventions like BlizzCon. In case you hadn't heard, Zerotio had been there, and he also runs some of the top non-Blizzard affiliated events in the country. Some of the best Hearthstone firesides are Scott's brainchild. He created the functioning volcano back during the Ungoro set, and he made the interactive Lich King helmet. So he does some great events. He and I sat and talked about the state of Hearthstone and the state of Blizzard as it is, and what we as innkeepers could do to kind of, after this long hiatus, we were running events pretty regularly until COVID. And so Scott and I sat and talked about, what can we as innkeepers do to kind of reinvigorate the community and get people excited about Hearthstone again, because like you said, honestly, Hearthstone's not an exciting place right now, and there's a lot of other things people would rather be doing, or games people would rather be playing. So what can we do as event promoters to kind of bring that hype back?
Yeah.
So it was a good conversation.
You posted a picture of Scott and like, look who I ran into. And I was like, I don't know who that is, because the one time I got to meet Scott in person, he was dressed up as the innkeeper at BlizzCon. If you hadn't heard, I've been to BlizzCon. So it was really funny. I was like, who is that? And then you're like, it's Bites. I was like, oh, I've never seen him out of costume. But that was cool. You also got to see, or I don't know if you got to see them. I know your son did. Friend of the show, we're Legend of the Innkeeper, Squishy Dragon.
Yep, I saw. I spent some time with Squishy, saw her, talked to her,
and Radmobile, and all of them that are in that Legend of the Innkeeper community. That was really cool. Being able to go out and see those gaming friends and those communities. It's funny. We're old gamers, obviously. Look at us, we're old and we're gamers. And I remember the days where you only knew people by a name. You didn't even have a face. You might have had like a portrait or an icon associated with them. And it was very far-fetched to even think about meeting these people in person, because the technology wasn't there for us to communicate on a regular basis. It was literally just in the game, World of Warcraft for the most part. But with the advent of Discord and of course Twitter and all these type of things becoming mainstream, now your gaming friends are your real life friends, and meeting them isn't kind of taboo. Isn't something that it's not abnormal.
Right.
And
no.
I really love the community.
People nowadays schedule whole vacations and trips around exactly what we did, going out to meet gaming friends. People, relationships that you've established online. It's much more common today, and it's much more fun. I don't know if you guys saw, I posted another picture on my social media last night. We were sitting in the airport at Detroit, and my son was passed out on my shoulder. He's 18 years old, and I'm like, this is what happens when you spend all week gaming with your friends and you forget to sleep.
Yeah, and it's neat how it kind of comes full circle, because I remember seeing a post and some comments on other podcasts by Ridiculous Hat about some other games and his association with another player that helped him prepare. I think it's Legend of Runeterra, Bassoon Buffoon, which we know as Travis.
Yeah,
he's one of the locals in Knoxville, and he was He was one of our eternal hosts on our was it From the Void podcast we had a while ago. So it's such a small circle that I was like, wow, I know that guy personally. Tell him he's a doofus, So it's so cool that 20 years ago, when I was avidly into gaming and meeting people online, I never would have thought we'd have this kind of community, and it's so refreshing to know, regardless of the success of the game or anything, the community is always going to be strong, and that's really cool. You got to go on vacation and meet a lot of those people.
Yeah, going back to innkeeping a little bit, I do want to shout out the way the game has changed in such a way in the last year or two that you can almost run a fireside just on BGs, and everybody's going to have fun.
Honestly, and so this is something I wanted to. If you guys haven't heard, I am going to be on Squelch with Matt and the other guys here very shortly, and this was something I kind of wanted to touch on, because I'm super excited about running a battleground style fireside gathering, because it was something I really wanted to do as soon as they announced they were bringing 8-player lobbies to the game. If you guys remember, they made that announcement in February of 2020 that 8-player lobbies were going live, and then in March, COVID shut everything down. So I have not had the opportunity to run a fireside gathering since 8-player lobbies were introduced, and I am super excited that the next fireside I do is going to be a Battlegrounds fireside.
That excites me, because I have never done a BG's lobby.
Oh, it's so much fun.
I joke about it, but when it comes to gaming, I'm very solitary a lot of times, and we've talked about this on the show before. I have social anxieties, and I'm one of those people that I will not enter into something unless I'm invited. I didn't go into THL until I was actually, somebody contacted me and said, hey, would you be interested in joining our team as a substitute? And that's how I got into THL. So when everybody's like, hey, we're forming these lobbies, my anxiety keeps me from saying, hey, can I join? So I've never done one, not once. And I'm really excited that if we can get back to fireside gatherings, that I can go to the fireside and do these BG lobbies, because they sound fun.
Yeah, we did one for Squelch's patrons last week, Friday, and we had about 7 or 8 people in the lobby. We had full lobby the whole time, and all of us were on a call together in Discord and just trash talking each other, having so much fun. It was a blast. Something I definitely want to do, and I can't wait to actually do it in person. I know Dire Spare, he's starting to do virtual firesides again.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to joining his fireside next week with a bunch of people in my local community, and then hopefully we can actually do it in person before long. So
yeah.
I can't wait for that.
So far the only lobbies I've done have been online lobbies. Right before I left for vacation, I got to join friend of the show, Dragon Rider. She was doing her 3-year streaming anniversary show, and she did Battlegrounds lobbies with viewers, and so I got to play with her and some of her other people in her community, and it was a lot of fun. Like you said, I can only imagine how much more fun it will be when you're actually there in the room screaming obscenities at people, going, "What do you mean you've got 6 Goldens already on turn 4?"
So that's the one thing about firesides I miss the most. We used to have them at Green's Tavern, and the aforementioned bassoon buffoon would be there and just screaming at people across the bar that are sitting across from him playing Hearthstone. Like, they're sitting literally across from you. You don't have to scream at them.
But anyway, yeah, that's something we're all kind of looking forward to, and I look forward to breaking that down and getting more in depth with it on Squelchcast here in the near future. But we do have some news to talk about. I know we could sit here and reminisce all day long about stuff, but we do have some things we need to talk about because Blizzard dropped the ban hammer for the first time ever in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
A individual card has been banned from play. Mattatarms, tell us about it.
So of course it's a Warlock card. Stealers of Souls, the newest card from the mini set for Warlock, was banned in Wild. They just straight up, they didn't nerf it. They didn't do anything. They just said, no, coming Wednesday, you're not going to be able to play this card in Wild.
So for those who may not have bought the mini set yet or may not be familiar with it, what does this card do?
All right, it's a 4-mana 2/6 demon. Its card text says, whenever you draw a card, convert its mana cost to health. And so you basically pay for the card with, instead of mana, you pay for it with health. Well, in Wild, there was a very broken combo where if you could play Stealer's Souls on 6, plot twist, and then drop Mal'Ganis or Violet Illusionist, which made your hero immune, you could then play out your entire hand for free. So
on 6.
On 6. Or 5 with the coin.
Yeah.
So, and it just came into a very disruptive state. It kind of forced Wild to be extremely aggressive, and I'm guessing they're not liking that because, they're banning it. This is the first time they've actually banned a card in a primary constructed format. They've banned cards in duels, they've banned cards in arena, they've banned cards in brawl, but they haven't banned it in a constructed format yet. But banned a card until now.
Just to clarify, when we say ban, what we mean is when you go into that format, in this case Wild, as of it's going to be, the patch is coming out on Wednesday.
Yep.
So that's going to be Wednesday the 16th. And the patch notes will come out on Tuesday, which we don't know what else is going to be in the patch notes, but we know this is going to be in there. And so that means on Wednesday, after the patch hits, when you go to build a Wild deck and try to put Stealer of Souls in the deck, it will have a ribbon across it that says banned.
Yeah.
And if you try to enter Wild with a deck that already has Stealer of Souls in it, it will kick you out and won't let you queue up. So make sure you check your decks if you play Wild. Now, Stealer of Souls is still legal in Standard, and that I know of. There's no real broken combo like with Plot Twist. So it's not affecting any other format other than Wild. This is really unprecedented and sets a precedence that I think is good for the game. What do you guys think about the precedent set to ban specific cards and formats instead of nerfing them?
I like it. I think it Magic the Gathering has had a banned list for years, and it's never affected the playability of the game. I honestly think this is the right move when you have something that is obviously so broken in the format that it just, like Mattatarms said, breaks the entire format. That I think banning the card is the right option. There was a question on Twitter that said, what will happen when Barons rotates to Wild? And Alec Dawson replied and said, the current plan is to adjust the card at that point in time and remove the ban. So if any adjustments happen to Stealer of Souls before that, then they would reevaluate the ban. So I honestly think this is the right move, and I don't blame them at all. And I think I don't think I would be adverse to seeing other bans in the future. Mattatarms?
I am for this ban. I do like the fact they did it this way. It's like, so I'm very good on that side. The double-edged sword of that, though, is now we're just going to hear about the WoW community being like, okay, ban this card now. Now ban this card.
Oh,
now ban this card.
I already saw people advocating for banning River Crocolisk. Let's go.
Let's do it. No, and maybe they should have done it with Barnes. I don't know. But anyway.
No, don't. Here we go again. Here we go. I knew Barnes would get brought up.
No,
so, do we think this ban precedence will ever see light in Standard, or do we think if it needs balance in Standard, then you just nerf it at that point?
Yeah, I think that's the case with Standard cards. They're gonna nerf for Standard, and if it becomes a situation of Wild like this is, even though the deck isn't that, if you look at tier lists, it's like a tier 2, tier 3 deck. But for Standard, if it's a problem in Standard, they're just gonna nerf it in Standard.
Yeah, and I think this is good. I do like that the precedence this sets in the fact that a lot of people think Team 5 don't look at Wild and they think Wild doesn't exist. And this is clearly saying this is specifically for Wild, and this is how we're handling it for Wild. And I like that. This is good, a good precedence to set. If you're drinking on the word precedence, you're probably gonna have to go to the hospital now. I've said it a lot, but I'm happy with this. This is good.
All right. Speaking of things that are going to be in Wednesday's patch, one thing we don't know, or we do know, is that there's not going to be any balance changes. The Hearthstone Esports Twitter tweeted out that there will be no balance changes before Masters Tour Dalaran. So, guess what?
That's next weekend, right?
That's next weekend. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're not going to have any changes in Standard for Dalaran. So that's a good thing because allows pros to figure out what they want to do.
Go ahead and test and submit without having to worry about anything changing beforehand.
Right. Yeah, and honestly, while the meta isn't the most exciting and it's not the most fun for somebody like me, and I think, Matt, you said you're not really enjoying Standard right now, it's not unbalanced. This is probably the most balanced it's been since Barons has come out. Paladin's in a good spot. It's really only like the third highest class, according to HS Replay. Third or fourth even. It's not dead, but it's definitely not the powerhouse it has been.
That first day nerf hit it hard. That's for sure.
It definitely did. Actually, I think the Hand of Adal nerf did a lot more.
Oh yeah.
Because that Hand of Adal on a 1-drop on turn 2 was just so crippling. Especially if it was on a 1/3, turning it to a 3/5, and you get to draw a card. And now at 3/4 at the highest it's going to be, or a 4 health at the highest it's going to be on turn 2, that really, a lot of decks can deal with that. So decks like Aggressive Hunter and an Aggressive Shaman, as well as even like Token Druid, are able to kind of bump up in the win rates, and that keeps the meta in check. So I think this is good because the meta is in a good spot that I want to see this meta in Dalaran.
Okay. All right. We also saw per the Blizzard forums that Lich King has been temporarily disabled in the battlegrounds. Now, the reason for this was an unforeseen issue where heroes that offer temporary abilities. So, in this situation, the Lich King gives a targeted minion on your board reborn through the next combat. However, if you gave a minion reborn and then tripled that minion, making it a golden, that golden version kept that reborn ability permanently. So that was the bug. The bug was if you tripled a minion, it kept the temporary buff permanently. So
yeah, so basically it gave it reborn, and then it gave it a tag on the bottom that said, only until end of turn. Well, that went away when it was combined. Mm-hmm. So that kind of just broke. Now, I'm sure there's ways they can balance this where they make the hero power say at the start of next combat it gains reborn or something like that. But obviously they need to figure that out on the engineering side. So they went ahead and just removed it. I like that they kind of make these snap decisions for the betterment when it's a bug or something like this, or something that's unintentionally overpowered. So this is good. And Blizzard's been really, especially the Battlegrounds team, have really been reacting quickly to a lot of these things, and that's making me happy. I'm not a full-time Battlegrounds player, but I enjoy the mode, and I like that they react really quickly to these type of bugs and unintentional issues in the format.
I know, Matt, you play Battlegrounds about as much as I do. What are your thoughts?
This is good. It's one of those things where, yeah, it's a bug. I'm glad they addressed it, and they did mention that Lich King will be back probably in the next major patch. We'll see if it comes back on Wednesday. We'll see.
Yeah.
But once they figured it out. But this was a kind of a game breaking. People would like kind of take advantage of this and have an unkillable board with a bunch of gold minions. So I'm glad they got rid of it for now. And there's enough heroes in the BG's pools that like you're not gonna really miss Lich King for a little bit while they fix him.
That's very true. Very true. And this past weekend saw the finals of the first season of Grandmasters. We have new champions going to Worlds. Zerotio, tell us who they are.
Well, first off, they are currently scheduled to represent their region in World Championships.
Yes.
Remember, if any of these players get relegated in Season 2, they will not go to World Championships, and it will go to the runner-up. That is important to note. So remember who they defeated in the finals, because if those players get relegated, then the person that lost in the finals will be the representative at Worlds. So first we have the Asia Pacific region. We have Possessi taking a 3-1 victory over Blitzchung. So this to me is really big because Blitzchung was really involved in a bit of drama when it comes to he got suspended and he was kicked out of competitive play for a while, and then that was shortened after they looked at the Blitzchung incident a little more thoroughly. And then he had to go through all that kind of turmoil of being suspended and then being suspended for less time, then competing again. And I like to see Blitzchung back at a top-level performance representing APAC in the finals. And did you guys watch this one at all? Did Blitzchung and Possessi's match kind of anything stick out to you?
I didn't get a chance to watch this one.
I didn't watch any Hearthstone while I was on vacation, other than I did watch the frenetic Blizes match, but we'll talk about that in a little while.
I saw a little bit of this match, or of the APAC region series, and I didn't get to watch the finals because of the time of day it is. And the Possessi was just tearing through opponents. So this does not surprise me that Possessi defeated Blitzchung in the final. So that's really cool. He'll be a good representative. And then we have in the Americas region, Nalgadon defeats Rami 3-1. Rami, I'm a big fan of Rami. He's also been a player in THL, so he's been in our community quite a bit. And Nalgadon, I've never really been a fan of because I'm not a big fan of his practice and work regimen and kind of his attitude towards that. He kind of believes that if you're good at Hearthstone, you're good at Hearthstone, you don't need to practice. And he's kind of said that out loud. So obviously he's putting up the numbers here. Nalgadon's kind of one of those guys. Either he's facing relegation or he's top of the pile. He's never in the middle. So Nalgadon's going to be representing if he doesn't get relegated in Season 2. What do you guys think about this matchup?
This was an amazing match to watch. I love these two players, honestly. I love Rami, and Nalgadon's been in GMs forever, and he's been always one of the top players. This is a really good series. They were both practice partners, so they knew each other very, very well. So, and it's an all Argentinian final. So this is both players. If you're not familiar with them, they're both from the South American region, and North America's kind of been dragging their feet a bit lately. And if they've been the top dogs in the past with Language Hacker and obviously Luna Love being given that limelight, but with a all South American contingency, all Argentinian contingency in the finals here, is South America taking the crown for the Americas region?
I'm actually happy to see Nalgadon get a win. Again, I'm like you. I'm not a huge fan, but I've followed Nalgadon's career going back to when we were running HCT events. So like I have seen him.
Yeah.
I have seen him grind and play, and it's nice to see him finally eke one out and get a win. As much as he has put into it, it's finally nice to see him get one. But yeah, I'm just I know these players. I know they give everything they've got. They put their heart and soul into this, and so it's good to see him get a win. It was nice to see I think this is our first all South American contingency in a final. So, the entire South American player roster has just gotten better and better and better, over the years. And this was inevitable to happen at some point.
Well, Rami's a great story too, because he was facing relegation last season. He was, I think, 1 or 2 games away from absolutely getting knocked out of Grandmasters, and to see him in the finals, see him succeeding now, I can't not root for the guy, because he's an amazing dude on Discord too. He's active in the Coin Conceit community. He's active in the No Pros community. He actually the night before the finals, he was looking for practice partners because he couldn't practice with Nagaiden. So
yeah,
then the community jumped up and helped him out.
He is amazing, and I love that he's a representative of the THL. He's part of that community and wears it proudly. And I don't think enough people know about Team Hearth Legends that you can check out at teamhearthlegends.com. But if you're wanting to get into competitive Hearthstone, there is so many avenues in the THL. You can be kind of have a kind of a casual format like Legacy and Hero, where you're using closed deck lists and you only submit classes, and your opponents don't know what your deck lists are. Or you can have Wild and Pro, which are both the standard and Wild versions of the competitive, where you actually submit your 4-class lineups, where they're open deck lists, and you compete with like competitive players in those series. It's a really good place to hone your skills, or if you're a seasoned player like Rami, perfect your skills against other competitive players that aren't in your GM pool or whatever pool you're in if you're a master. So if you're interested, you definitely should check out Team Hearth Legends. and register with them so you can substitute in or get on a team. But we have one more region, and this is where all the drama ended up being. Frenetic versus Blyzus. Now, if you'll remember, I don't think we talked about it here because we were taking a week off of the show, but there was a little bit of drama involved with Blyzus and possibly some, match fixing to make sure certain people can get qualified for playoffs, and that kind of got it was investigated by Hearthstone Esports, and nothing was found out, but they gave out some punishments for other bad practices in the competitive scene. And this is all just before playoffs. So the water in EU is a little muddied at this point. And we get into the finals, and Frenetic and Blyzus were on game 5. So they're 2-2. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Frenetic had to come down from 1-2 to come back to take it to game 5. And Blyzus didn't really get the best draws, and Frenetic got some really good draws. And we get to the end where Frenetic clearly has lethal and he's going to win. And Blyzus just disconnects. His camera freezes, and if I'm Frenetic, who ends up taking this 3-2 at this point in game 5, and I see the counter pop up that my opponent disconnected, I'd be nervous, because I'd be opening another tab, seeing what the rules are. Do we have to replay game 5? What's happening here? And that makes me feel, even after I'm given the acknowledgement that I won this game 5 and I'm getting qualified to go to World Championships, that's not a way you want to win. So I guess my question to you guys my question is do you feel this was unprofessional? And should any action be taken against Blyzus for this kind of unprofessional disconnect victory that he ended up giving Frenetic?
Go ahead, Matt. I'll let you start.
Sure. Unprofessional, absolutely. Absolutely unprofessional. But he's also 19, but still unprofessional as heck. 2, should anything happen? No. I think he should get talked to, hey, can you show just a little bit more sportsmanship next time? Next time you lose, because it happens, you lose. And I hope the reaction and the way overreactions on Twitter, because Twitter is an overreaction platform, teaches him, and helps him realize, hey, you know what, I need to be not a child on this. And I need to come back and with a better mental attitude and realize, yeah, I lose Hearthstone games sometimes. Yeah, this is probably the most important game you've played in a while, but guess what? Hopefully you'll be good enough that you get there again, and then you'll do better the next time. So this is where I'm at with Blyzus. The drama that stirred up because of a disconnect and him alt F4ing out of everything is just it's way overblown in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. At the point he alt F4s out, that's a win for Frenetic, and you could tell he kind of knew it, because he kind of started to celebrate and then was like, wait, need to verify. And as soon as he got word from the admins that it was a win, then yeah. So yeah, do I think any punishment needs to be taken? No. I think he lost. That's it. Moving on. He needs to realize, though, like you said, that if something happens and Frenetic gets relegated, Blyzus is in. So he needs to realize that there's still an opportunity, even if he doesn't win, season 2, that he still has the opportunity to go to Wilds if something were to happen and Frenetic were to get relegated. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. Frenetic's playing really well right now, but anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Yeah, my thoughts are kind of aligned with you guys, but not 100%. I do think that it was very unprofessional. Do I think that nothing should happen? No, something should happen, but we as viewers should never see it. In the rules, there is a sportsmanship clause, and it does have punishments listed there, including financial fines and game losses and things like that. However, it also states that the player can be given a warning and a reminder of these policies. So I think an admin needed, and they probably did this, needed to make sure to reach out to Blyzus and say, hey, nothing's going to happen. However, we do not want this happening again. If it happens again, per whatever clause, and make sure to copy paste it from the rule book to them and say, if it happens again, you can be punished up to this. And if this happens again, I would expect some kind of at least financial fine, maybe a forfeiture of any prizes for that tournament. I do not want to see an action like this from Blyzus again. And I would hope that the players also got a communication saying, hey, in regards to the situation that happened with Blyzus, nothing's going to be happening. However, we do not stand for this. So if anybody else does this in the future, this is the warning, and you can be fined or ejected from the tournament or whatever. Do I think he should be kicked out of GMs? Definitely not. But I do hope, and I believe it happened, that the GM admins spoke to him and let him know the severity of this, because it looks bad on him. Because if for some reason Frenetic does get relegated and Blyzus is the representative for EU in the World Championship, now he has this really bad situation involved in his qualification that is going to be all over social media. He's going to be the bad guy in this in World Championships if it is to happen, and he doesn't want that. I'm sure he doesn't.
We need heels like Pavel. We don't need heels like this.
Yeah, you never want to have a heel represented on your name when it comes to World Championships. Because if you win World Championships, nobody's going to get behind you, and everybody's going to say, "Wow, I wish somebody else won." They're not going to celebrate how good you were and how many accomplishments you had up to that point because of that one stupid mistake you made in competitive play that everybody saw.
Maybe. I don't know. I think you dismiss how much people like heels.
Yeah. Like heels like Pavel. Like I said, heels like Pavel.
Yeah.
Icy guys that you know that like
exactly. Not everybody wants a good guy winner that they can celebrate their accomplishments. A lot of people want the asshole to win the tournament.
And that's fine. But what I'm saying is the fans he does have that want him to win will be fans of him because of his action in this tournament, not because of how good of a player he is.
And that's totally acceptable. That's part of being a fan.
I don't know, but if I was a player, I would want people saying how great of a player I am, not that I disconnected.
But that's just it, though. Not all players want that.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. But I don't know. I hope
this very well could have been intentional to try to set up this scenario.
Are you saying it's
scripted? Oh God, I would hope not. It's scripted. I would hope not. I hope he learns from this mistake. I hope he sees it as a mistake. If he doesn't see it as a mistake, fine. But man, I don't want to be remembered like that. And I was a big Blyzus fan, and this made me look negatively on him. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on into more exciting news. We got a leak for the new Mercenaries mode that is coming. In a recent article from Out of Cards website, there was a leak with screenshots and descriptions of the new mode sent out via a survey from Blizzard. And guys, I don't know about y'all, but I am so excited for this mode of gameplay. Of course, you guys know how I am with single player type modes and whatnot, but I love Battlegrounds. I love duels. I am so excited to try some mercenaries. Zerotio, what about you?
So the original source of this was Leading More Hearthstone. It's at Leading More H on Twitter. And since this leak, those tweets have been removed. There were 2 of them, but not before Out of Cards could grab those images and from the survey and put them on there. Now, this is just a survey, so we don't expect any of this to necessarily be exactly the same, but obviously it's a starting point from where they're coming from. They got a few images of the battlefield, the game map, and the mercenary/character levels, and it shows the characters. And if you want to check us out, go to Out of Cards, and the articles there, or you can go to our show notes at Hero Power Podcast. What is HeroPowerHS.com? Wow,
It's only
my brain's going everywhere. Yeah, 6 years. HeroPowerHS.com, but we'll have the link there. But it looks like we might have like a hero collector.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks a lot like a Hearthstone version of like Marvel Strike Force or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes type situation, maybe. Which I'm not the biggest fan of those games, but would be willing to give it a shot in a Hearthstone theme, in a Hearthstone setting.
Mm-hmm.
To quote the infamous Philip J. Fry, "Take my money now." So if you don't know, Philip J. Fry is from Futurama. I love hero collector games. Avanties and I have been playing them for years. We're currently leaders in a alliance for Marvel Strike Force that we play at a competitive level. We're in a casual alliance there, but I'll be honest. If there are monetary purchases with this game, I am probably going to make them because I love these game styles.
Well, they learned their lesson with Battlegrounds by making it free. This is not going to be a situation where like this is going to be completely free to play. I don't think.
Oh yeah. I really think if people are seeing Mercenaries and thinking of a free to play friendly experience similar to Battleground or even Duels, because I think Duels has a moniker of free to play that is friendly. I mean, you do have to spend gold, but you can get that gold by grinding in game. I think the majority of the people that excel in Mercenaries when this finally comes out are going to be people that are going to be throwing handfuls of cash at this. And a lot of people frown at game models like that. And for that, I can say, just don't play it. If that bothers you that much and not being at the top because you have to throw money at it, don't play it. I will probably be throwing money at this.
Well, I'm looking forward to giving a shot, and I'm probably, in my tinfoil hat theory, is that they're getting to a point where they're ready to release like an open beta or a closed beta of this, and I think the way to get into the closed beta would be like, hey, there's a pre-order coming up in 2 months. So then get into the closed beta with by doing the pre-order, and by the way, it'll give you early access to Mercenaries, but it'll come out when the new set comes out. If they're getting to a point where they're sending out marketing surveys like this, I think they're getting to that level, and I'm looking forward to giving it a shot.
I fully expect, especially since all of this marketing survey was leaked, I fully expect them to make an official announcement within the next couple of weeks, probably at best.
Yeah.
So I'm playing a little game with Zerotio now. He keeps moving his head, and I keep moving the hat.
Pin the hat on the donkey.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. No, So just looking at a couple of these images, I mean, we can't really see a lot of what the game would be. Obviously, we see a game board, and it has 3 different heroes across from each other, and what looks to be powers in between them that I'm guessing you will click to activate to attack. And it looks like some of the characters are highlighted, like you can highlight them so you can have targets similar to those combat sequences in the hero collectors, like Marvel Strike Force, or was it DC Legends? I think it's another one. And each of the character cards, they have levels on them, which I'm guessing you'll slowly level them, and they have stats and minion types or their races, because one has orc, one has dragon, one has human. So obviously those are going to be things that come into play. I'm just really excited for this.
Look,
this game mode.
I have heard. I cannot reveal any sources, but I've heard that when Mercenaries was first developed by the team, it was just kind of meh. It's okay, it's nothing great. And then they kind of went back in and they worked on it for a few months, and they came back out and they were like, oh my god, this mode is amazing. So like when it was first developed, they must have missed what they were shooting for. They missed their mark originally. They went back in, they changed some things, did some redevelopment, got it to where it is, and they are absolutely loving the internal play tests from what I understand. And
that's awesome.
That just makes me even more excited. Like you said, I am a sucker for what's known as a gacha game, because they're going to get you to spend some money on collecting these characters. And the fact that it says there's going to be 50 characters available at launch. If you've never played one of these types of games, they usually always start the same way. You get one character to start, and that character's given to you. And then as you play, you unlock shards, or you can collect shards to unlock other characters along the way. There's going to be 50 characters available at launch that you can collect and play with and build all these different combinations of teams until you find what works. And then they're going to be releasing additional characters every month, it sounds like, or every couple of months after that, to continue to grow your roster. As Zerotio was saying, there are metas inside these metas for building these teams, and it's just really exciting when you find something that clicks.
Yeah, and we kind of go back to it because it's what we're familiar with, but Marvel Strike Force, I think, started with like 62 characters. And then it's been around for 3 years, and it's up to close to 150 characters.
I think it's actually
they put out
that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's around. It's either just over or just under 150, and they put out every patch cycle is about a month and a half, about 6 weeks, and they put 3 to 4 characters out per patch. And if Hearthstone does this with Mercenaries in that way, and usually what will happen is you can do different events to unlock different shards to slowly collect enough to unlock a character and then level them up subsequently. And right now, the max level, from what they say, is level 3. That's what they said in the last press release for these characters. I'm sure those levels will increase as they start putting out more content. And usually there's like one highly desirable character at launch that you get charged for doing dailies and playing regularly. And for Marvel Strike Force, that was Wolverine. Wolverine was the character everybody wanted, but the only way you could get them is doing your dailies every day to get that character unlocked. And since then he's been power creeped, but that was the big, you want this character, so you want to log in every day to do your due diligence and play. And then later they put out an achievement system, and the Incredible Hulk was put in there. So I see the same thing with the characters in the World of Warcraft universe. There are tons of characters, and there's even like unnamed characters, like in Marvel Strike Force, they're minions. They have no name. They're just like a mercenary or something like that. You could see that with maybe the peon, and that's kind of an easy to get, has low power ability and things like that. But your named characters and your marquee characters like a Jaina, like a Magni, things like that might be your kind of premium characters that are higher in rarity. Again, this is all speculation because we don't know anything for sure, but based on these images and some of the rumors going around, it sounds like a hero collector, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. We got a recent update to the Battle.net launcher. Mattatarms, sounds like you got some more friends.
I guess. Basically, they allowed for cross-region friends. So if your friends are in Europe or in Asia, sorry, China, then you can keep them on your Battle.net launcher, and they'll show up. Whatever region you're on, they'll show up. My question is, does this increase the friend cap? Because I'm right at 200 right now, thanks to THL, and I'm wondering, can we get above that now? Can we add friends above 200? I have no idea. Has anybody tried this?
I have seen some instances on Twitter this week of people showing their friends list at like 300 or 400 even. I never heard if there was an official cap. I know I was at about 150 and I'm now showing 184.
So there has always been a cap of 200 because I've personally experienced it where I'm sitting at 200. Somebody sent me things saying, "Hey, I'm trying to friend you." It says I can't. So I delete one person and then they can friend me. So, and it does count outgoing friend requests because at one point I was at 198 and somebody couldn't add me. I didn't know why. And I looked at my pending. I had 2 outgoing friend requests that were just sitting there. So I deleted them and then I could get them. Now, from what I have seen, there are people that are showing more than 200, but so far from the evidence I'm showing, you're still capped at 200 per region. So realistically, that means you can have a total of 600 friends, but you can't have more than 200 in Americas. You can have 200 in Americas, 200 in Asia, and Asia Pacific, and 200 in Europe. And this is just speculation, but based on evidence I've been able to find, there's no official statement there's never been an official statement about cap anyways. They've never officially given a number for cap. They have at one point said, back when it was 100, that the friends list cap had been increased, but they didn't say what it had been increased to, and people found out it was 200. So, gotcha. Also, I noticed that if you have a friend in a region outside of what you're playing on, it will say in the Battle.net launcher whether they're Asia or EU or America. So if your Battle.net is currently assigned to Americas, because that's what you play most of your games on, then next to somebody who's logged into Asia Pacific, it'll say Asia.
All right.
So you'll know which region they're in, so you're not accidentally trying to challenge them or anything. Now, this does not open up the gate for cross-region play. Yet. So that your Hearthstone collection still, and we could talk about that, but your Hearthstone collection still stays in your region and you can't play somebody from another region. The problem is the reason I don't think they'll ever do cross-region play for Hearthstone is because it would invalidate a lot of people's purchases. Because if I have a full collection on Hearthstone on Americas, and then on Asia I've had to buy some bundles that I already bought on Americas to maybe play over there, and they merged them, then all of a sudden a lot of that money I spent on the Asia or European server just goes away. So I don't think they'll merge that because they would have to give refunds or some kind of credits for any duplicates or maybe dust or something like that, which could possibly, will you just increase the number of cards they have, and then the players can dust those extra cards, and that would probably suffice. But I think it's a touchy area. I don't think we'll see that anytime soon. What do you guys think about that? The cross region play, especially for Hearthstone.
Cross-region play matters a lot more for games like Overwatch, for eventually, or even cross-platform play, which they're introducing with Overwatch. So now you can play with people on Xbox and PS4 and Switch. So that's kind of cool. I'm actually looking. Hopefully, they'll bring some cross-platform play to the Diablo 3, because it'd be kind of nice to play D3 with some friends on the Switch who have it on the Switch or whatever platform they have it on. So that's kind of cool. In the notes here, it says it enables developers to create a globally connected experience in the future. Whatever that means, it's developer marketing speak. So cool.
I too look forward to having my Switch characters PL'd by PC players, Matt.
That's what I'm actually. I was seriously considering buying D3 on the Switch just so I could play it in bed.
I have it on the Switch, and
I do too.
A lot of times, you know, I take my Switch with me to my part-time job, because my part-time job is sitting at a desk, answering a phone, and answering questions for students. And so 90% of the time, I'm just sitting there, and so I'm playing D3 on my Switch. It's fantastic.
Well, I like to take my Switch and play Diablo occasionally in the tub, so have that image if you're ever cross-platform playing with me.
So if you're not rifting, you're wiping.
Yeah, yeah. So when this article came out, everybody was all about the cross. Oh, you're gonna have your Hearthstone players in other regions on your friends list. Does this mean we'll be able to cross-chapter play? And the big focus was the friends list being global. When I looked at the article, there was a lot of emphasis more put. I mean, obviously it was on the global connectivity, but more emphasis on the playability cross-platform and cross-region. And they really, really seem to be hammering home that this is more of a future project thing, not to enhance current games. Obviously, Overwatch is the first one they're doing the cross-platform with, and that's the only one they're doing with right now, and I think it's a testing grounds. Do we think there's going to be some form of developer input specifically for new titles like Diablo 4 that's going to emphasize on this global cross-platform play? Which, when I say global cross-platform, specifically it's Asia Pacific, Europe, and Americas, not China. China's not included in this. They will always be separate. No matter what. Do we think that we're going to see more emphasis on this with new titles coming?
Oh, absolutely. They even say in the article, we look forward to a future where billions of players worldwide can make friends and play their games together. So yes, I absolutely believe this will be a built-in mode for all future titles. It's the existing titles that their engineering department is going to have to work on seeing how to make that work with.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
This feels like an expansion on the thing they did about three or so years ago, where they kind of just jammed Discord into the Battle.net launcher for no reason.
Yes.
And finally, they're actually doing something about it. So now we can actually have multi-regional Discords. Cool. Just like Battle.net versions of Discord, which, sure. We'll see if they expand on that anymore. But yeah, I think this is totally for titles that are to come out that we don't know anything about yet, or we know maybe no titles of. But like for now, I think it's going to be a while before anything matters with Hearthstone for this, for Diablo 3 probably, since that's purely in maintenance mode at this point. So we'll see. I'm optimistic, but still, like, we'll see what they do with this.
What do you think this means for Diablo Immortal, since we all clearly don't have phones? Does this mean they might open up Diablo Immortal to be cross-platform? Because right now it's slated to just be a mobile game on your phone, but obviously we have players with emulators, and there's other games like Genshin Impact and Raid Shadow Legends. If you hadn't heard of Raid Shadow Legends, and you don't watch a single video on YouTube because it's on every single ad, but their big kind of marketing thing is we have a desktop app for the PC, and you can play on your phone, and they're cross-compatible, meaning everything you do on the PC goes to the phone, and you can play with people on the phone that are on PC and vice versa. Do we think this might be because of Genshin Impact and Raid being so popular with that flexibility, that's something that maybe what's delaying the Diablo Immortals full rollout is because they're maybe wanting to implement this?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think with Diablo Immortal, I think it's going to stay a mobile title because they have Diablo 4 coming soon. They have Diablo 2 remastered coming real soon at some point. So I think there's going to be too much of Diablo
overload,
Diablo overload or Diablo saturation.
Yeah.
Anyway, with like D2, D4. So like, why would they put a title that's doomed to, that they are clearly marketing towards phones on a desktop platform that, like, why would I play this when I can play D4 or D2 again or D3 even?
So that bringing up Diablo 4, do we think this may mean they're preparing for a simultaneous cross-platform release for PC, Xbox, PlayStation, maybe even Switch for Diablo 4, where everybody gets it at the same time and you can play with your friends on other devices with Diablo 4?
Absolutely. I think Diablo 4 is going to be available on all the current gen consoles as whatever the new Xbox is and PS5 and computer on the same day, for sure. Switch, I doubt it's going to happen, but yeah.
Yeah, Switch tends to get delayed because there's a little bit of technology flexibility that has to be done with Switch, and I know Nintendo really likes their stuff to be proprietary, so they don't like a lot of cross-platform play with their games. So I could see it being delayed on or not coming to the Switch at all for that reason. But I don't know. This is some of the biggest news is the BattleNet launcher. That tells me that they have big plans coming in the next year to two.
Okay. All right. So we now have had a week with the Wailing Caverns mini set. Other than Stealer of Souls being banned out of Wild, what are our initial thoughts on the set? Mattatarms, let's start with you.
It's been actually more impactful than I thought it would be. I think the fact that it actually made Shaman playable with one card is insane. And in the fact that like it kind of normalized the classes a little bit. I mean, Warlock is still terrible, and that's about it. Like Warlock in Standard is still terrible. There was the one glorious day when we could play Zoo, but otherwise, I think it did a good job of just kind of normalizing and bringing all the classes a little closer together in such a way and making the meta a little bit faster, which I kind of enjoy a little bit, but I'm still kind of over it. So I don't know. I liked it. Like Zerotio said earlier, I think it's setting up for the next expansion very quickly. So very well.
Yeah. So it had tools to make decks that were just barely out of tier 1, maybe in a fringe of tier 2, good, like Demon Hunter. Death Rattle Demon Hunter just needed Fell Rattler to be good, is what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It was missing one board-based clear that could open the doors for the minions just to keep going face and stay sticky. And so Fell Rattler kind of made Death Rattle Demon Hunter basically a top-tier deck right now. And then it kind of opened Mage. Mage didn't really get much, but it gave a lot of tools to get people thinking. So Frost Mage is not, they just don't have enough to make a dedicated Frost Mage deck. But if only 2 or 3 more good Frost spells come in the next set, Frost Mage may end up being a tier 1 deck, maybe even tier S, because the cards they have now are very, very good and reminiscent of the old school, which is now played in Wild competitively, Secret Mage. Except instead of secrets, you have the Frost packages. Paladin sucks in the mini set, and it needed to. To be honest, it just needed to because they're so good. They're still a tier two class and have a couple different variable decks.
Yeah.
Hunter didn't need anything because the changes and nerfs made it tier one. And other than that, all their other classes just got decent tools. Where the stars lied, obviously, Primal Dungeoneer is kind of becoming one of the best class cards to come out. But the neutral cards are really, really good. You have Mutinous that's being put in just about every slow deck because it's less about disrupting what's in people's hands. Mutinous is a 7-mana 4/4 Murloc. Battlecry eats a minion in your opponent's hand, gain its stats. And it's more about just putting a really big 7-mana minion down. Sometimes it comes down as a 12/12 or 13/13 because they were holding a big minion in their hand. So it's just good pressure. Archdruid Neralax, that's the 3-mana 3/3 dormant for 2 turns. While dormant, add a dream card to your hand at the end of turn. It got a lot of negative reviews by a lot of people because they're like, the dream cards aren't powerful. But the dream cards are powerful on like turns 3 and 4. They're just not as impactful on like turn 10 like you would get with Ysera. So Archdruid Neralax is going a lot of mid-range decks. And then other than that, you have Devouring Ectoplasm, which also goes in that Death Rattle Demon Hunter and is just a good sticky minion. I think this class, this mini set, did what it needed to do, and that was shore up a few tier 3 decks to make them tier 2 or tier 1, and to kind of balance out the meta. I think right now is the most balance we've had in Year of the Griffin. We don't have any class with a huge outlier of win rate. Like, looking over hsreplay.net, your top class is Hunter at 54.3% win rate. The bottom is Warlock at 44. That is a 10% difference from 1st to 10th. And that is healthy to me. Before the mini set and some of the balance changes that came with the mini set, you had like almost a 20%, sometimes 25% disparity between 1st and 10th. Because Paladin was so good and classes like Mage and Shaman were just so bad. So I like where this is. You only have 3 classes over 50%. That's Hunter, Shaman, and Demon Hunter. And that's a good thing. So I think we have a nice balanced meta. It's not the most fun because there's not a lot of flashy stuff, but it's a 4-set meta. So you're not going to have a lot of flashy stuff. I think as we start getting more sets this year, we're really going to start appreciating some of these mini set cards.
Okay. All right. I personally have not had a chance to play with any of the mini set cards yet, so I am looking forward to seeing today's deck list get played. Because when the guys sent this to me, I was like, Shaman? Ooh, we have a new class in the game. So yeah, I'm excited to check this deck list out. So let's just kind of jump right into it. We're going to be playing this Shaman deck from Basedinc. So I'll run down the deck list and then I'll turn it over to Mattatarms to kind of talk about how the deck plays and why one card from this mini set kind of made Shaman playable again. So this deck list is 2 Lightning Bloom, 2 Kindling Elemental, 2 Wailing Vapor, 2 Cage Match Custodian, 2 Diligent Note Taker, 2 Rockbiter Weapon, 2 Wand Maker, 2 Arid Stormer, 2 Gyre Worm, 1 Instructor Fireheart, 2 Primal Dungeoneer, 2 Storm Strike, 1 Kazakus Golem Shaper, 2 Doom Hammers, 1 Inara Storm Crash, 2 Lilypad Lurkers, and of course, everyone's favorite and or most hated Shaman card, the Lurker Below.
All right. So this deck comes from Basedinc. She got to top 14 Legend with this when she posted it, having an exceptional win rate. Uh, it's it's a Doomhammer Shaman list that is kind of a hybrid between the Elemental Shaman that's popped up and the Burn Doomhammer Shamans. The early game of this deck is very much taking early board control with Kindling Elemental, Wailing Vapor, and Arid Stormer and Gyre Worm. So you want to kind of focus on that as your mulligans, is those early elementals. Eventually, you want to drop the Cage Match, or and actually and Primal Dungeoneer on turn 3 is probably the best keep. So if you have a Primal Dungeoneer in your hand, hold on to it. That card, if any don't know what that is the Battle Cry, draw a spell. If it's a nature spell, also draw an elemental. All your spells in here are nature spells, and they're all designed to buff up your Doomhammer. So you're trying to keep board and take control of the board up until about turn 5. And after turn 5, you turn into a face damage burst deck with the Doomhammer and Rockbiter Weapon and Storm Strikes. Yeah, this deck has done very well. I've had very good success with it, and I've enjoyed playing this deck quite a bit. And I'm not the biggest fan of Doomhammer Shaman, but I've liked this one. So.
Okay.
I've been able to play it. Yeah, I've been able to play this deck a little bit, and the lurker below it in the meta right now is surprisingly good, because if you get the 6 and you're wanting to turn that corner to pretty much win on turn 7 or 8, and they put down a bunch of minions, it just mops them back. It literally just sweeps across the board, and all their minions are gone.
Yep.
It's also, if you have good board pressure, Death Rattle Demon Hunter, you get that first wave, and then of course all the death rattles go off, and then your minions can trade from there. Also, the lily pad lurker is surprisingly good, even if you're not getting the battle cry. And it's also important to note the battle cry is enemy minion, meaning if you played an elemental before and your opponent has no elementals or no minions on their board, you can play the lily pad lurker and not have to polymorph one of your minions. See, I thought I was gonna have to. I was like, well, which one of my minions do I want to turn to a frog? And then I realized I didn't have to. So I thought it was just minion, which took a little bit of the negative away. Which I tell you, a 5-mana 5/6 on 5 is just good, even if you're not getting the battle cry.
Yeah, Lily Pad Lurker is one of those cards where he's like, okay, I got to hold on to get to the battle cry value. No, you don't. You just drop it on 5. You just drop it on 5 as a tank, because in case you don't have like a Doomhammer in your hand. Because it's a 5/6, it's hard to remove. 2, it sets up a Gyre Worm for next turn, or another elemental synergy card as well for the next turn. That opens up your options as well. So I think, the Lily Pad Lurker is one of those cards that when I initially started playing the deck, I'm like, oh, I got to get the value. You don't need the value with the Lily Pad Lurker. You just need to drop it on 5.
The only card in here that, and this sounds weird, that seemed weak to me is Kazakus. And the main reason is because sometimes I do, in certain matchups, want to have an elemental on 4, and I don't want to play Kazakus on 4. Yeah. So I found on 4, I wasn't playing Kazakus because I wanted to have that lily pad lurker battle cry for turn 5 if they played a big minion, especially against Paladin. Because Paladin on turn 5 likes to play taunts. So I want to polymorph that taunt that got Librams of Wisdom put on it. That's a perfect target. But if I Kazakus on 4, that means on 5, after they've dropped their 4/6 taunt and put 1 or 2 Librams of Wisdom on it, I can't polymorph it. Or I can't hex it. So Kazakus felt a little weird to me, but other than that, this deck is really clean and I like it a lot.
Yeah, I've played around with the non-Kazakus list. The 2/6 taunt with the does 1 damage is pretty good if you don't have Kazakus. Lurker below can probably be the second copy of that if you don't have that. Inara Stern Surge is pretty cool. Core, and Fireheart can just fish out lethals from nowhere. Honestly.
Yeah. I know there's been so many matches. I was like, wow, I am 1 off lethal or 2 off lethal, and I just play Fireheart and some cheap spells she gives me, and then all of a sudden I get a lightning bolt, and I win the game.
Yeah, it's like a lot of times I like Fireheart and pick a guidance and then pick both spells and then get another option from Fireheart, and then I have like my hands full again, and it's great.
Oh yeah, because if you don't get the lightning bolt off of her, if you get the guidance, then you guidance trying to get lightning bolt. And if you don't get the lightning bolt, she'll give you another spell that might be a lightning bolt. There's just so much generation that can just finish games.
Yeah. And like I said, Primal Dungeoneer is the key to this deck. This deck existed pretty much beforehand. Like literally, the only 2 new cards are here are Wailing Vapor, which is a solid 1-drop. It's it's Mana Worm, which is good. Yeah, Primal Dungeoneer, and you keep Primal Dungeoneer in the mulligan 100% of the time.
Okay.
Now we joke with the show title today. Primal Dungeoneer is a 5-star card. I think I gave Primal Dungeoneer a 3 because I think it goes in every single deck, but it's not necessarily like what you're trying to do. And I stand by that rating, but at the same time, you don't play Shaman right now without playing Primal Dungeoneer.
Yeah,
it's just a way to play.
I said in the Wicked Good card review that the fact that it says Shaman card that says draw a card on it, I think that's why it's a 5-star card right now. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I actually just crafted Lurker Below so I could build this deck. That was something else I wanted to talk about real quick, not in the show notes. I just logged in and I have 2 bundles in my shop, the Tavern Special and Bob's Bargain. So the Tavern Special is 35 packs of Forged in the Barrens and 2 random legendaries for $29.99. And Bob's Bargain is 40 packs of it's 40 packs of the Year of the Phoenix.
No. Are you sure?
No.
They're wild packs.
They're wild packs. Yeah, it's 40 wild packs and 2 random legendaries for $29.99. So I think it's really interesting that, I mean, that's not a bad bundle if you're missing cards because it's less than $1 a pack.
Yeah, and this is part of their targeting stores, their target marketing stores. So I'm seeing a lot of people get different offers in those 2 slots. Mine change every now and then. I've just opened up my client and I can actually look at the shop and to see what I have here. I have Tavern Special and Bob's Bargain as well, but mine it's a 10-pack of Forged in the Barrens for $9.99 US, and Bob's Bargain is 20-pack of, looks like year of the
if it's, are you sure it's
Phoenix.
Not wild?
Nope, it's Year of the Phoenix card packs for $19.99.
Okay.
What this is doing is everybody is getting curated offers based on your collection, what mode you play in the most, things like that. So everybody's going to get different offers in those top 2 spots, and they're supposed to be as catered to your play style as possible.
Okay. Well, I was just
I don't get the wild ones because I haven't logged into wild.
I have complete sets of Scholomance, Dark Moon, and Barons. I'm only missing about 10 cards or so from Ashes of Outland, and I'm thinking might not be bad to buy the random legendaries and the dust to finish out my collections. Now that I have reasons to build out those collections.
If I look at my year if I look at my Year of the Phoenix, I'm missing a couple cards, but if I look at my Year of the Griffin packs, I'm not missing anything. So obviously, if you're looking at saying, "Ooh, this might be a good deal," it's because the algorithm they're using to send you offers is working.
Yeah.
As a whale myself,
and that's a good thing.
Go ahead,
as a whale myself, I'm only missing down to what Rostacon's Rumble.
Oh, nice.
I think Rostacon's Rumble where I start teetering off a little bit too. I have a lot out of TGT. That's before I started really spending. TGT, I think I'm missing half the set, but after that, it gets a little less.
And Karazhan will always be at 99%.
Delete bards. Hashtag delete bards.
Yeah.
And I did. It was great.
All right, guys. That's going to pretty much do it for us this week. If you are joining us on YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show, where we are going to take this Basedinc Shaman deck out for a test drive. If you are listening via the audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. While there, you can also join our patron-only Discord for as little as $1 per month. We will see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
Thought he'd forget.
I know, he almost did.
No. I was in the middle of trying to send a message to Mattatarms to see if he wanted to say it, but I wasn't fast enough.
No, I can't say it. Yeah, I have my own catchphrase on the other show I talk about. I say.
Do you?
Yeah.
Apparently, Zerotio doesn't know your catchphrase on the other show.
I know. All right, I'm ready to go.
Thinking now.
All right, I am ready to spectate as soon as you get into a match.
All right, I'm pushing the button. Now I got to fight the spectate boss.
Actually,
you don't have to fight.
Spectate boss hasn't been that bad lately.
No, it hasn't. It doesn't jump around like it used to. All right, jumping in.
All right, Demon Hunter, this could be interesting.
All right, so Demon Hunter up first. So, as you said, other than Primal Dungeoneer, which we have in our opening hand, what else are we looking for?
I'm kind of looking for Kindling Elemental, Wailing Vapor, and maybe an Arid Stormer.
Okay.
Or a Gyre Worm as well.
So we want to throw back the cage match and the one maker?
Yeah, because if I can get a Kindling Elemental, I could play the Arid Stormer on 2, which is really, really good.
Okay.
But the Primal Dungeoneer is always a keep.
Okay, we drew our second Primal Dungeoneer and one maker.
One maker can be interesting because if we get if this is Death Rattle DH, we get that Eternal Flame card, we can completely wreck their board.
I like that we drew the 2 cards we threw back.
Okay. It's not a card I usually see.
Oh, there's the Wailing Vapor, but
I have been seeing an aggressive, an aggro Demon Hunter kind of in the mix.
Yeah, if that's the case, I think I Wand Maker here, and next turn I Wailing and Cage Match.
Okay.
That's where I'm kind of at right now. See what I get off the Wand Maker first.
Well, we know the Cage Match is definitely going to draw us a Doom Hammer, so
Guidance is good.
Guidance is another card I'm surprised isn't in a lot of lists because it's not really good.
The only reason it's not on the list is not a nature spell.
That makes sense.
Okay, plays into a Razor Boar.
Yeah, but that 1/2 is just. I'm not Demon Companion and Death Rattle Demon Hunter just seems weird to me.
Yeah, I think I still do I trade into the 1/2 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And then Vapor Cage Match.
Because all of these minions challenge that 3/2.
And we draw into Doomhammer.
Well, that was guaranteed pretty much. That's the only weapon we have.
That's true.
Next turn, I really like Primal Dungeoneer. Hopefully, if we can get and then we'll see what we can get off that. See what the elemental is.
Storm Strike wouldn't be bad.
Rockbiter's okay.
Rockbiter's okay. Lightning Bloom would be pretty good, but I don't know if we want to overload going into 5.
Well, if we can Lightning Bloom out the weapon, I think we'll be fine. But we won't be.
I mean, yeah, if we top deck Lightning Bloom now, yeah.
Yeah. Guidance, I almost want to look for the Eternal Flame. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what the options are.
Eternal Flame it's a double-edged sword. I've not been a fan when I do get it and play it because I'm overloaded pretty much the next turn.
Agreed.
Who he's going to trade. So he didn't. He wanted to make sure he didn't pull out the Beastmaster. That's why he did that. So that tells me he probably doesn't have another minion for the Beastmaster to bring out unless he has the 4-drop, the Acrobat.
So are we just going to guidance first here?
I think I'm gonna Primal first, see what elemental we get, and then if it's a good elemental, we can Kindling, and then we can Guidance next turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Or Doomhammer. I think the Primal's a little more flexible.
This is definitely a more aggressive and slower list. Ooh. Do we double Kindling?
We can. I like that. And just go face.
I like that, yeah. Just put minions on the board. Makes him want to trade and sets us up for Doomhammer.
Mm-hmm. And then Storm Strike's really strong next turn.
Yeah.
Or the turn after Doomhammer.
Yeah. The Diligent Note Taker, no, the Sneaky Delinquent. Oh.
That's fine.
It's kind of gotten out of lists. So that means he's going to trade this turn. 3-3 into the 2-3. 3-1 into the 2-2.
Oh, that's not so great.
Do we just Doomhammer and kill the 2/4?
Doomhammer seems weak here.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm looking at.
Wish we could play the Lurk because I want to play Lurker Below next turn.
Yeah, I'm thinking we do Primal. I think we Primal.
Okay.
Problem is with Primal, we're definitely not going to Storm Strike.
Yeah. Do we Storm Strike the Kreen, kill the 3/3, and then the 3/1?
That's what I was thinking. Leaves with nothing on board, but we can play the Cage Mask Custodian. We can also play the Guidance to see what else we draw. So do we Guidance first if we're going to do that?
It's Guidance.
We are looking for guidance on this turn.
Landslide looks good.
Well, Landslide with the Spirit Path Overload's pretty good.
Yeah. I say Landslide, then do the Storm Strike turn. Oh no, that's fine.
Actually, I gotta hurry.
Yeah, gotta do it quickly.
Just do it.
I should have dropped. I ran out of time. Shoot.
Fine. That's fine. It's fine. There was a lot to do. My worry about Overload is if we can't Lurker Below this turn. I think this is the turn we want to Lurker Below, but we will be able to Doomhammer.
Yeah. And we saved the Storm Strike for something on his board, and also doing 10 damage to his face, which is nice.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Sure.
4-drop.
Is that fish?
I think it's
Okay,
that's fish.
It's fish.
Yeah, see, this would have been a great Lurker Below turn. Oh.
Yep.
So we want to try to make sure we don't overload this turn, right?
Yeah, Molten Blast is what, 2? Yeah.
Yeah, Molten Blast is 2. Which means we can get rid of the Beastmaster. It'll drop something. Won't change the board state much. Do we
Good Wailing. Actually, this is a really strong play.
Not the fishy?
Fishy, it only does 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait, I was thinking...
Molten Blast only does 2 damage, so yeah.
Okay. No, we're good. You're good. I thought we were grabbing the Storm
Wait, it does... Oh, it's play. I thought it was when you summon. I thought it would give me 2 more procs on it.
No.
Okay. Oh, well, that's fine. And I think this sets up for Lurker really well.
Yeah. That's really what I want to do this turn, is setting up for that Lurker. I think he trades this turn, though. He might send the Delinquent face. But these are value trades.
Oh, this
that's good.
This is a tough matchup. This is one of the worst matchups for this deck.
This is a tough matchup, and The Acrobat's gonna leave, so they're gonna leave some 1/1s on the board, but I think that's fine.
Yeah. There's the Arid Stormer we needed last turn.
So wait. I'm trying to see if
Storm Strike into that Stormer doesn't do enough. I think it's still Lurker below.
It doesn't. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So he'll be able to play the second half of the Fishy to clear the Lurker below. That's 4 mana, and he loses a 1/1 and the Fishy. It leaves him only 3 mana to do things, unless he uses his face and the Fishy.
We can finally play Doomhammer next turn, and we could play the Dungeoneer with it or the Stormstrike with it.
Mm-hmm. I think Stormstrike's... Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So he's not playing Fishy then?
He's not playing Fishy. It means he's not clearing the 6/5.
It's fine.
He's not worried about us getting through the 1/1s. So maybe with that said, we play the Primal Dungeoneer into Doomhammer. And we use the Doomhammer to clear the 2 1/1s and then use the 6/5.
Wait, hold on. You're at 3 attack. I'm trying to do the math to see what kind of damage we can do with Diligent and double Stormstrike. Probably not enough to...
Probably we can save that for next turn, though.
Yeah. We'll be able to double with the Overload, but...
Yeah.
It's still in a good spot.
Rockbiter's really good, and the Gyre Worm, we can't get it down. That's fine. We trade off the 4/4 here.
Yeah, we go into the 4/4 here.
Now, let's see. Next turn, we're going to have, what, 7 mana? We could Diligent double Rockbiter.
Yeah.
We can.
And that's, what, 16 damage? Yeah. That's interesting. I haven't seen that card in this deck.
What? So does he use his face on the 6/1? He can't play the Fishy. That's weird. Runtak in this list. Does that mean he's not running Inquisitors? Is he running a low to the ground list?
Interesting.
So he's showing 9 damage on the board.
Do we got a Kazakus for a 1-drop?
Maybe we do.
What? 3, 4, 5,
6, 26. We're at, well, he's at showing 9, 10. So he needs 1 damage.
No, he's showing 8, 9.
Yeah. With the air power. So he needs 2 damage. I think we lose the Inquisitor regardless. I think, we got to go for a 1-drop. See if we can get a freeze.
How about a lifesteal? That's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know how. If we can get the 3 damage.
Freeze
is good.
Freeze is good, yeah.
Okay. Then do we Rockbiter, clear the Runtak, and go face?
Yep. I think we just go face.
The problem is the extra buff from the Runtak might be important. No, I think we lose the Inquisitor regardless.
Oh, yeah, but we lose the Inquisitor 100% of the time.
There it is.
And there it is.
Yeah, neither one of those plays played around with Inquisitor. And he's had it in the far left forever.
All right.
This is a tough matchup.
This
is one of the reasons why I didn't play it much, is because there were lots of Demon Hunter when I was playing yesterday. So I just queued up Face Hunter and burned them.
Yeah. All right, let's do better this game.
Yeah.
Because Face Hunter doesn't care if they have death rattles because we're not killing them.
Yeah, we just killed them.
Where this deck is more of a tempo deck, and then it turns into a burn deck.
Yeah. All right. What should I keep? Hey, there's a Mulligan got an HS replay on this deck.
Already?
Yeah.
When I was playing it, it didn't have enough data.
Well, now it does.
Getting out there now. I tell you, right. if you haven't followed Basedinc on I think she's on Twitter. She has great lists. Ooh, This is a good hand.
She's also one of the hosts of the another podcast I produce called the THL Power Rankings Podcast, and she does a phenomenal job.
Nice.
I like Basedinc because she talks me up a lot.
All right, we just kindling on one.
Yeah, so it's another shaman. So chances of this being mirror?
Could happen. Oh.
I mean, can he deal with a lily pad lurker on his turn 2? Can he deal with a 5/6 on turn 2? Even with the coin?
Let's do it.
Because he didn't. Now, if he played an elemental, I wouldn't want to play into another lightning bloom lily pad. But he didn't play an elemental, so his lily pad lurker is not going to be activated.
Mm-hmm. And we just take the next turn off, which is fine.
Which is fine because we got a 5/6 at play.
Yeah, we also might get a 1-drop and we'll be in good shape.
We might.
Or another. If we get a lightning bolt, lightning bolt bloom, Lucan Primal. Okay.
Gyro would have been nice there, but I think we just swing face. We don't need to deal with this 2/2.
Nope, they can deal with the 2/2.
Because they got a weapon, so he might get the whack-a-mole. And if he gets the whack-a-mole, he can clear the 5/6, but he has to use his minion and face, right?
Yep.
Coin for 4.
Not playing whack-a-mole or whack-a-mole.
Oh, Earth Revenant.
So this is the list that's similar to Base's, but it cuts the. I've seen this list as well. It cuts the Kazakas.
Do we Fireheart?
That's a lot of mana. Is there any difference from Fireheart than Primal Dungeoneer?
I think Primal's better. We want to save Primal. We kind of want to save Fireheart to like turn 6.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, we got the other kindling. Sweet. This would be nice with the Gyroworm next turn.
Yeah. It activates the Gyroworm and lets us fit it in.
Let's go ahead and bump.
Yeah.
It doesn't really let us fit it in with Fireheart because it wouldn't give us any mana to play with, but.
Okay.
Sure.
So he's double trading?
He doesn't.
Yeah, they're trading.
Yeah,
okay.
He's double trading. So Gyroworm.
Oh, we can Storm Surge,
Ooh,
Lightning Boom Gyroworm. And clear.
We could. So Storm Surge would. Okay. We could.
Or Storm
Gyroworm
Crash,
would do 3.
Yes.
Then we Storm Crash hit once and trade our 1/1.
Yeah, let's do that.
I like it. Gives us a 3/2 and a 4/5 from the deal with on 4.
And it activates our Rockbiter weapon as something.
It does activate our
damage.
fire weapon. If they don't clear the Storm Crash, which is probably going to be what they're going to want to do.
Yeah, they probably hit it with the lily pad here. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, now we Fireheart. I think we Fireheart.
The Rockbiter clears that?
Yeah, but I kind of want to.
I agree with you. I'm giving the other line.
Yeah.
I think we do Fireheart, but that's still only 1 mana to deal with.
Well, we got Guidance, which is good.
I mean, we could kill that Perpetual Flame.
Yeah.
But maybe we take Tidal Surge
And play it for next
turn. Because if we play Guidance, what's that really going to do? Just give us another Discover, right?
Yeah.
And if we take Perpetual Flame or Guidance, that's going to put us with what?
Outside of
6?
Lurker Below next turn.
Yeah.
Let's do the title surge.
I think we title surge
is good.
and then go face because he's put his own taunt up for us with the 0/1, so he's got to get through that before clearing one of these 2 minions.
Mm-hmm.
And if he does use
he has Lurker Below this turn.
I don't think the HS replay list plays Lurker Below.
Okay.
Lurker Below. No, it doesn't.
There's Whack-A-Null.
This is the Whack-A-Null list. That's an interesting trade choice.
Okay, do we
now start pushing face?
Sorry, say that again.
Do we start pushing for face damage or preparing for face damage now?
I think we do.
Do we?
So do we? Yeah, that means we play the Dungeoneer and then we surge the
worm.
I think so. I like that. Oh, that's good.
I think we since we have the rock, we don't have a weapon in hand, so the Rockbiter and Storm Strike don't really matter.
Yeah, do we just
surge? That's damage that can go to face though. I like the title surge
on the Gyre Worm.
On the Gyre Worm, yeah. Probably going to. I want him to smack the Dungeoneer with his face because that's 2 more damage to face.
Unfortunately, our Gyre Worm's not active, but it's fine. If we can draw a cage match, that'd be sweet. Or like a weapon.
Any low cost.
Or any weapon, actually, would be great. Sure.
So he's wanting
good positioning.
To build pressure. Yeah, his positioning's good.
I think we Storm Strike the 2/5. And then Lurker Below. Oh wait, that's not enough mana.
Yeah, we can't. We would have
rock
to
bite. We have to Rockbiter it
then. Lurker Below. But I only worry about that is that means Rockbiter doesn't go face.
It's fine. We still have Storm Strike, and he's playing.
I know it's fine. It's not what I want.
I know.
Okay, so he has a 6/5 he has to deal with, and he's obviously can trade in the 6/4. Does this mean? Oh wait, no, we were out of mana. I don't know why I thought we had more mana.
Well, next turn we can Kazakus for a 5-drop now too.
Oh yeah, and drop it that turn. He kind of has to trade this minion in, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. He doesn't know we didn't draw Doomhammer yet.
He might have something from hand. Ooh,
damage. That's a lot of damage. Oh, he's only dunk tanking that. I'm fine with that.
Wait. Oh, it wasn't corrupted.
No. All right, we Kazakus all day.
We want the 5/5 rush duplicate.
Let's see what we get.
Taunt duplicate?
I kind of like Lifesteal.
Lifesteal's good, but it's not.
Taunt. I like Taunt.
Not guaranteed to get it, you know? Freeze 2 minions. Yeah. The thing with Lifesteal is when they don't have rush or anything, it's really hard to know you're going to get that Lifesteal, especially against Shaman, who's probably either going to Lily Pad Lurker it or they're going to burn it down with spells. Because he still has a +3 spell damage.
It's not going face, so I feel I'm fine with that.
Oh, Fire Elemental.
Yeah. That does 4, by the way.
Yeah, it does.
Always shocks me every time it does 4.
That's lethal on board. Wait, what's this?
Note Taker.
So Storm Strike. So if we Note Taker...
You can kill the Fire Elemental or the 6/4 or Brucon.
Well,
we can kill one of these with the Dylan Note Taker.
Yeah, but that's 8 mana, so that means we can Wand Maker first to see if we get a better option.
Yeah. I kind of want to revolve.
Do we?
Yeah, because all the other minions are worse.
Maybe
one does, and they don't have spell power +3.
That's true. They wouldn't have spell power
that
+3.
is true. Do we want a diligent revolve so we have a second
No,
option?
because we lose because it won't activate. Spellburst happens.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So revolve, then diligent, then storm strike.
Oh, that doesn't. That's worse.
Yeah. See, revolve just never feels good to me. We lose now.
Yeah, we're dead.
Hero power. Maybe we get taunt.
Nope, we're dead.
We gotta hit it now, right?
No, we're dead.
I didn't see it getting better.
I thought it would be better.
The thing with shaman minions is they tend to be undervalued for their cost.
Yeah, true.
All right, you guys want to play one more? Give it one more shot.
Give it one more shot. I tell you, I've had some good success with this, but sometimes I just.
I mean, no, I have had good success with it too. I just think we're getting some rough matchups.
And the fact we didn't draw Doomhammer that game or draw a cage match.
Yeah.
Didn't allow us to change to the face plan.
I think.
And we in that deck, in that particular Shaman deck, the Elemental Shaman is very much a board based deck.
It is, and it's those 2/6 taunts that do 1 damage. That's really that's impactful.
Ooh, we got good stuff.
Oh, Druid, this is great. Please.
No, like our starting hand is amazing.
Kindling Elemental, Arid Stormer, Wand Maker. Arid Stormer.
I'm pitching the Wand Maker. I'm keeping the rest.
Yeah, pitch a Wand Maker. We keep everything else. 1 into 2 into 3.
Oh, and a Gyre
Oh.
Thank you.
1 into 2 into flexible 3.
Yes.
Oh, this is
a slow list, so we can just.
We can get, as long as they don't draw Overgrowth and do this.
Into a Primal Dungeoneer.
That's our reload.
Yep. This is good.
That meme with Vince McMahon from WWE where he just keeps getting better and better and better.
Rockbiter. Ooh, Rockbiter on the Arid Stormer.
On the Arid, it's so good. Arid face.
This card is Crab Rider. Arid Stormer is Crab Rider.
Yeah.
Play Earth Crab Rider.
Innervate to a 4-drop to Overgrowth. Okay.
Yeah. Do we coin out? Actually,
I like. Basically, I think he's going to have another passive turn. He might Lightning Bloom into Animal Companions. I think we Wheeling Vapors and go ahead and get the Gyre Worm to his face.
I like that too. Yeah.
Not the Gyre Worm to his face?
No, we hit him for 10.
Yeah, we hit him for 10 this turn.
I know. I was just wanting to develop another minion as well as doing 3 damage.
I'll do 3 damage next turn. Oh, does he have the 7 mana spell?
Celestial Alignment.
Okay.
Do we want to keep playing Elemental so we have Lily Pad Lurker unlocked?
Yep.
Yeah, face. And we know with Primal Dungeoneer, we're guaranteed to be able to play whatever we draw.
Yep. And Lightning Bloom is also an extra mana. Oh, hi.
Ha!
Oh, yeah.
He just conceded.
Yeah. What?
There you go.
I'm not done yet. I'm not done having fun.
I think he realized, oh, wait, I just gave him everything for 1 mana.
Yeah.
He's just going to do it. I have no way to deal with this board.
Oh.
He needs an Animal Companion. Oh, not Animal. The Guardian.
You need not to play the worst deck in the game.
Not the worst. Isn't that Warlock in that zoo?
Yes. Maybe.
All right, gang. That's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. We want to thank Mattatarms again for coming on the show and joining us this week. We love having you on. Make sure you guys check him out over at Squelchcast. Do us a favor if you haven't, hit that subscribe button below on YouTube and check out our Patreon over at patreon.com/heropower. Till next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys.